Buenos días a todos, espero que se encuentren muy bien. Les habla Pedro Maldonado de Laminaire. Les ofrecemos disculpas por el breve retraso. Estábamos ajustando algunos detalles técnicos. Em, yo soy ingeniero de aplicaciones en Laminaire y en esta mañana seré el moderador de la reunión. Desde este momento en adelante vamos a hablar únicamente en inglés, pero sus preguntas las pueden transmitir en español y yo me encargaré de hacer la traducción para que nuestro panelista pueda entenderlas y responderlas adecuadamente. So welcome everyone to another Laminaires webinar about mechanical seals in the HVAC industry. Today, our sponsor is FloFab. So we have Micah Sporgian from FloFab to talk about this topic, and we are going also to have a live demonstration about how to install these mechanical seals in a pump. So again, my name is Pedro Maldonado. I'm applications engineer at Laminaire. I'm going to be the moderator or the organizer today. You can send us your questions and your comments anytime throughout the presentation. To do so, you just go to your right side of your screen. You'll find a little module with a red arrow. So you just click on it, it will expand, and you'll find a tab with questions or comments or chat. And there you can send anytime your questions and doubts or comments about this. I also invite you to follow us in our social media. You can find us as Laminaire S.A.S. And in YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, you can find us there and follow us. Also, I remind you that this session is being recorded, so it will be posted in our YouTube channel later. So you can watch it again or share it with anyone you like to. Without any further topics, I would like to introduce Micah Spurgeon from FloFab Inc. Hello, Micah. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for taking the time to let me present this to you. As Pedro was saying, I am the applications engineer at FloFab here. I've been working in the pump industry for a little over 7 years now. So I've seen a lot of stuff, and the purpose of today is just to go over mechanical seals, specifically in the HVAC pumps, and just give you guys a little bit of an explanation about what they are and what their purpose is, a little bit of information about which mechanical seals we use and why. And then once I've gone over the basics of the mechanical seals, I'm going to take about 60 seconds, walk downstairs, and then Yannick is going to do a very simple presentation about how to install and how to remove a mechanical seal. All right, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get started in the presentation. So what is a mechanical seal in its definition, right? So it's a device that is used to control leakage in rotating equipment. So as you know, with any pump, you have the motor, which is the assembly that's going to be causing the rotation, which makes your impeller rotate in the pump volute, which allows us to have a pump that actually functions and creates the flow and head that we need for any application. So going to the next slide, these are the three basic components that make up a mechanical seal, right? You have your rotating face, which is in the middle there. This is the face that you mount on the shaft, which will rotate with the shaft. So that part will actually be spinning. The spring will be going along with the rotating face. Then on the other side, you will have this stationary flange, right? And this is the entire purpose behind the mechanical seal, right? We have one rotating face, one stationary face working together to create a seal so that no water gets leaked through the motor pump coupling, right? Because the entire purpose of this pump is to move water, and before we had mechanical seals, right, you would use packing. The problem with packing is for packing to be efficient, you had to have a little bit of leakage, whereas with mechanical seal, we can get a complete seal with no leakage. So that's the benefit of the mechanical seal. All right, moving on. This is a base-mounted pump. For us, we call it a 2000 series pump. This is what I would say is probably the most common pump in the HVAC industry. And if you look over here on the left, the green highlighted portion, that's where your mechanical seal is. It's along this shaft, and it's allowing the impeller to rotate in the volute, as I was saying, where the water is going to be without leakage coming through onto the other side. So if you can look, this is one of our actual pumps here. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse, but hopefully you can. The mechanical seal is going to be right here, right here in this. So between the pump head and the assembly that's going to make the entire motor shaft, right? So moving on, not just base mounted pumps, but also in our inline pumps, the 800 series and the 880 series. The mechanical seal is right here, calling it a pump seal. Again, it's just allowing us to move water without any leakage. Okay, and so what mechanical seals does FloFab use? So all of our mechanical seals are Viton with silicon carbide. And what is the reason behind this? Well, Viton has excellent heat and chemical resistance, meaning because obviously there's going to be friction, right? Because you have one rotating face and one stationary face, that's going to be a lot of friction. So the heat, you want a mechanical seal that's going to be able to take a lot of heat. So as a standard, all seals are rated up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is very good. It will lead to a long lifetime for the mechanical seals, which obviously the less maintenance you have to do, the better. And as I was saying, excellent friction losses, right? Because those two are going to be rubbing together, which means the bearing life will last a long time. Some other mechanical seals that you see that maybe our competitors or some other people use would be, the most common is the Buna with carbon ceramic. There's two problems with this seal. The first being that ceramic doesn't deal great with rapid temperature changes, meaning so if you go from not moving to first starting up a pump, right, there's going to be a temperature swing of the ceramic heating up, and over time this can cause the seal to go bad much faster than the silicon carbide. The other problem with the ceramics is it's easy to shatter, meaning if you drop it, it'll shatter easily. So this can be a huge problem with shipping, especially since we're in Montreal and you guys are in Central to South America. It could be kind of a big deal. So the silicon carbide just is a little more durable and easy to transport. So one other major benefit of the FloFab mechanical seal is the same seal can be used in all these 4 different series of pumps. The 800, which is our closed coupled inline, the 880, which is 880 RI, sorry, which is a split coupled inline pump, and then both the close coupled and base coupled in suction pumps, being the 1000 and 2000 series. All 4 of these series of pumps use the same mechanical seal. What this means is that you can keep one set or a few sets of mechanical seals, and no matter which different types of pumps you have in the different locations or wherever, the same mechanical seal can be used. So this is extremely convenient for replacement parts, for mechanics to keep. If you have a large building where there's several different applications, say 20 or 30 or 40 pumps, instead of having to keep 20 or 30 or 40 different seals, different types of seals, and then having to replace it as each one goes down, you can keep, 3 to 5 and then just replace them as needed. So the interchangeability of the mechanical seals is a huge benefit in the different product lines. Then, as that is basically it for the presentation portion, because in essence, the mechanical seals themselves are fairly simple. There's not a whole lot to go over besides that. But now the main purpose behind the mechanical seals, as I said, was to keep the water out. But in order to do that, they have to be properly installed. So I've asked Yannick, who is our service person here, to give us a demonstration. He's going to show us how to both put on and take off a mechanical seal, because obviously you're going to have to remove the old one when placing on the new one. And if any of you have any questions, you can email Richard, whose email address is here. He is in charge of our shop and has been in the industry for over 20 years. So while I've been here a while, he's been here much longer. Pedro, if you're ready, you can take over presenting, and then I'm gonna walk downstairs and start the video in about 60 seconds, okay?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm just presenting right now. So we'll be waiting for you to go downstairs to the shop.
I want to test the video before I walk downstairs. Is the camera working on your end?
Yes, it is.
Okay, excellent. All right.
In the meantime, I would like to. Okay, yeah, we're ready. Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, yes, we can hear you and see you. Okay. Yeah, we can. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's a shop. Okay. 4 bolts. Mm-hmm. Micah, can you turn your camera on landscape, please? Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm, okay. Thank you, Yannick. Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, everyone, we hope you enjoyed the live demonstration of about how to install and remove a mechanical seal in your pump, centrifugal pump. So while Micah walks upstairs, and we're gonna have our Q&A session. So please take 1 minute or two to think about what we just reviewed and ask your questions relating this topic. So by the way, when you are installing or when you are removing the mechanical seal assembly from a vertical inline pump with split coupling, then you will not have to remove the motor bracket. So that's a big advantage of it. You can just remove the cover of the mechanical seal, well, the coupling, and then the cover, and then you'll find the mechanical seal right there. So it will be very easy to replace. And for our 880 RI vertical inline pump line, you can remove all the shaft and impeller assembly. So you can take it to a working bench and work on it like in the shadow in a more comfortable environment instead of doing it in the roof with rain or a very sunny day. So here we have just one question. So please, ladies and gentlemen, send us your questions about this topic. I also want to let you know that at the end of the session, you'll find a short survey with just 4 questions. It will not take like longer than 2 minutes to answer, and it's very, very important for us. So please help us answering that survey. Again, please follow us on social media where you will find this recording and all the content that we are creating every day for you. And it's available there for free.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, go ahead. Were there any questions?
Okay, but why don't you use the okay, are you using the GoToWebinar app?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to turn the presentation again to you so you can show the FloFab logo of the first slide.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Micah again. Yo, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to say thank you all for your time. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to email Richard. And then if you go to our website, flofab.com, there's a link to the YouTube, which has, of course, a video on this mechanical seals that we've already made. It also on our YouTube has other topics that you might need to look at, like, for example, HMI touchscreens or balancing valves, when to use them, when not to use them, suction diffusers. Just a lot of helpful tools for anything in the HVAC industry that you might need. So if you're in doubt, feel free to visit the website and go to the YouTube to see any tutorials or stuff.
Okay, great. Thank you for the information, Micah. We have one question from one of our attendees, and it's the following. How long is the like lifetime of a mechanical seal operating or under normal conditions?
That's a good question. So the mechanical seal life depends on how often the pump is run. So say a normal operation is your pump runs for, I don't know, 14 hours a day. A typical mechanical seal will last 2 to 3 years. A mechanical seal is a wear component, obviously, because you have the two faces rubbing against each other, creating friction. So it will have to be replaced eventually. It's just some of the necessary losses that we have to have, but it's not a monthly periodic change that you have to see. And obviously, the less the pump is running, the longer these can last. They can last basically forever if it is a low demand application. But the higher the demand, like if you have a continuous run pump, the faster these can burn.
Okay, it makes sense. Nice. I would like to review again what you just said about our pumps. Um, you said the horizontal and the vertical pumps, all of them share the same mechanical seal type or model, right? So the true advantage of it for you guys who are looking at this session, at this webinar, is you will not have long shipping dates or delays on the delivery of a mechanical seal. Why? Because they're at FloFab, which is located in Montreal in Canada, they have all the stock that they require for the pump, like new to assemble new pumps and to have spare parts for the pumps that are already installed and running. Also, we have here Laminaire in Colombia. We have a stock of mechanical seals that are ready to ship anytime you need them. And we have a stock that like accordingly to what sizes of pumps we have sold in the past years. So there's no need to wait for 4, 6, or even 8 weeks to have your mechanical seal. So you will have and ensure a continuous operation of your customer's system. One other question we have here is that usually the vertical inline pumps have a more expensive seal than the horizontal. So how does it work for us, Micah?
That's an excellent question. So what we did here at FloFab is instead of putting a more expensive seal in the inline pump, what we did is instead we went more expensive seal in both the pumps. As I was explaining the materials, right? So, oops, go back. Usually the oh my gosh, please work. The higher class material is only used on sorry. Usually the Viton silicon carbides are only used on inlines, and then you use the ceramics for your in section, just so that you have a more cheaper, affordable pump. Plus, they're not in the vertical, so there's not as much stress. But instead, what we did here in FloFab is we just decided that one mechanical seal would be better, and so we used the high quality seal on both the in suction and the inline pump.
Nice. So you get top quality and suction pumps or horizontal, and then you have the industry standard for the vertical inline also.
Yes, that's correct.
One advantage of our 880RI series is they have bearings for the pump shaft also. So the mechanical seal and the coupling are not as expensive as the competitors' pumps. So that's why we are able to use this kind of seals for the vertical inline, right?
That's part of the reason. Yeah, but it was the intention with how we designed these pumps that they would be interchangeable. That way, it would be convenient for all of our customers to just keep their stockings of spare parts down to a minimum, as well as us help with our inventory. So we only have to stock one style in the different sizes, and not have various different styles of seals.
Nice. So there was a well-designed product. So we have now more questions, and before we leave, I ask you to help us with the short survey you will have on your screen after closing the webinar. Micah, thank you very much for the presentation and the live demonstration on the mechanical seals.
Yeah, thank you all for your time, and I hope you all have a great evening. Feels please feel free to contact us if you have any other questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Goodbye.